Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Lawson, your favourite monster's favourite monster, streaming live on Live and Let's Dice on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the UK, and a merry time zone to all of you, wherever you are, or may be. As always, we will do the tech check. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I really hope you can. I did mess with the latency thing a bit because I don't like the 20-second delay between talking to people and people hearing me. But yeah, just let me know in the chat if you can see, hear me, and I'm also going to put a little bit of background music on, royalty-free background music as well, so I don't get slapped. Hopefully that's playing. Let's have a look here. Yeah, just let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. And we'll just crack on with the painting. As the thumbnail says, we're painting Ironjaws, specifically my Ironjaws, the Iron Laws. Hilarious pun. Hello, quote. Yes, you can hear and see. Brilliant. Hello, nerdy goth, and a merry Sunday to you all. And if you are in the UK, please remember, if you've not already done so, call your mother if that's something that you need to do. But we'll just get straight into painting, and I can't remember what I was doing. So I think I've done everything that I can with the Ironjaws. Just move that a little bit, and let's go a little bit. That's a bit better. It's going to freak out. Yeah, it is, but then we're back to normal. Brilliant. Yeah, so last time I was just doing like skin and leathers and stuff. Now I got all the armor done, but having a look at like my test orcs over here, I've done lots of little white checkerboards and dags and details and stuff, so I think that's what we're going to do today, because then after that it's just the metallics to do. Oh, the clocks also, yes, the clocks also went forward, and you can't really hear the music, so we'll play it up a little bit. There we go, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, clocks also went forward. That was another thing. Time thieves. So we're gonna do, yes, we're gonna do dags, and we do dags very simply by taking some white paint, thinning it down quite a bit, and trying to have the steadiest hand that we can manage. But because it's orcs, it's okay, because if they're a little bit skew-whiff or a bit scratchy, that's fine, because I want them to look like the orcs did them. I think I am running out of white paint though. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Oof. Well, you know what? It's payday tomorrow, so I'm going to get myself another pot of Apothecary White. I mean, I have had that for about a couple of years, and it is such a workhorse paint for me. So yeah, I'm over thinning the white paint, because thankfully the Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White is like really super, it's like super strong, so I can thin it down quite a bit. Wash your brush off properly. Take a nice thin size 1 brush, and I'm just going to pick random places to do dags and checks. So first we'll go, tell you what, we'll put some strips. Actually, where do I want to put the strips now? We'll put one along here on his gauntlet. So, trying to draw a straight line. Invariably, I will not be able to do this. I don't know what it is, but I can't draw straight lines, and I can't cut straight lines, no matter how many like rulers or right angles or anything like that I try. I just can't seem to draw or cut a straight line into anything. See, time thieves now, extra hour in bed later. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Right, so we've just drawn one line, and now we're going to draw another one in the middle here, and then bring it round here. Just like that. And now we're going to draw. What I find as well, again, is don't move the brush around in different places. Move the model. And I also like to brace the model against a table or something like that, so I'm not making too much of a pig's ear of it. And then we're just going to mark out some squares, just like this. There we go. And then we're going to very simply just fill in alternating squares for the checkerboard. This point doesn't need to be, because we'll probably go over for a few coats. Oh, I've done it wrong already. Wait, no I haven't. Aha! Thought I buggered it. I have buggered nothing. So, how's everyone's Sunday been? Has anyone been up to much? Done anything? Gone anywhere? Seen anything? Smelt anything? I saw my mum breakfast, and we had our usual traditional. We like to have a McDonald's breakfast together. So that is what we did. We put the worlds to right, as we usually do. And then we had a mooch around Hobbycraft. She wanted to get some bits, and I was not looking for bits, but I got some paintbrushes, and I got because Hobbycraft in the UK have started doing Gunpla, so I bought Gunpla kits, because why not? So there we go, some dags on his greaves there. Let's do for this, we're just going to do like a stripe, I think. So nothing too spectacular, just one sort of like stripe. Like I said, my plan is the sort of like, you know, the Ironjaws, they love their pigs, so, you know, the ultimate pig to their, you know, ultimate pig is a cop, because I am hilarious and topical and a bleeding heart liberal. So I'm doing sort of like chevrons and checkerboard marks and vaguely police related stuff along, like sort of this police blue that I'm going for. So we're going to do a little chevron. I realised though, the more I sort of paint these decals and these things. They're more sort of like orky ultramarines than anything else I've done, which, you know, hey ho. It's just a bit of fun. But I just happen to quite like the blue colour for the Oryx. I mean, I do love the Ironjaws yellow. Like, it's a nice, fun, prominent yellow. But having done the Gloomspike Gits, lots of reds and yellows there, I thought I'd just I'd leave it. And then we'll do one checker pattern across here. So again, just size it up. So we'll do quite a reasonable size mouse. Whoop. Across. Again, right across. Wonky as all hell, but never mind. And then we'll do one in the middle. Again, wonky, but it's fine. Just get again, it doesn't matter too much because I want them to look a bit orky. But that's, I mean, at least that's the lie that I tell myself. Have you been chilling today, Goth? For 1 week of work, yes. I've been off work recently, so I went back. And that's been I won't say a shock to the system because I've come back and I've just, been doing my job. And thankfully I'm in a position where I'm not really... I am not crucial, so I am not missed. Which, we all like to be important at things, but I like the autonomy. Everybody knows when I'm in, I'm doing my job. When I'm not in, other people are doing the job. Okay, there we go. More dags. So I'm just going to go over the ones that we've done just to make them a bit brighter. So yes, back at work, but apart from that, I've just been playing video games with my buddies, which is always good fun. And I gave Adamfall a try. Oh, good evening. Good evening, Pixie Wolf. Is that a Mikey I spy in the chat? Hey, you do know that guy. It's me. I'm the guy. Hey, I'm the #1 guy. Did you not know? Paint more eggs. Yeah, because you are kidding me. You've got another gold Thorn. Send me a picture right now. I want to see which one it is. That's unreal. So for those in the chat, I have mentioned this before. We've got into playing the One Piece card game, and so one of the sets, one of the expansion sets is called the Best, and it's a reprint set of like all the good cards from the previous sets and things. But they also have Don cards, which is like the resource cards of One Piece. But they've been doing like special ones, so you can have like alternate art, and then you can get them in shiny, like a nice foil version, which is very nice to look at. And then you get gold bordered ones, which are just absolutely gorgeous. And on the secondary market, I think the cheapest one is about 70 quid. And so Mikey's beginning with it, and now he's pulled one already, and he's now pulled a second one. And that, am I right in thinking that is going to be from the starter pack? Oh, unreal. I've just seen the message, Mikey. Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. And I am... Oh, that's money. 100% that'll be money. Put it in a sleeve. You maniac. Get some top loaders. But yes, the Golden Dawn's exceedingly rare. Exceedingly rare, and like I said, on the secondary market they fetch quite a price. That's very cool. That's very cool. What a Sunday to be Mikey. And thank you for the kind words about the Ironjaws. We're getting there slowly but surely. So, like tomorrow is my payday, so I'm gonna go and get the spearhead, because that's all I need to finish this force. Because I've got everything else. Just need what's in the... I mean, technically I'll have an extra mega boss, but it financially makes more sense just to buy the spearhead. Oh, I should probably do some dags on the big mega boss as well, actually, while I'm dagging him out. Right, so the list I'm taking is going to be 20 of these chaps. So 20 of the 20 yard boys, one mega boss, six brute wreckers, and 5 brutes, led by a mega boss. And the pizzazz is very simple. I just move them up the board and beat them all to death, and beat anything to death. Tell you what, actually, I'll bring up my army list properly, and then we can go through, and I can reacquaint myself with what the whole idea was. So yeah. So it's a mega boss. That's my general. A reinforced unit of our boys, so it's 20 hard boys. Reinforced unit of brute ragers, so that's 6 brute ragers, and then 5 brutes. So we'll go to the realm gate. The enhancements. Yeah. So the mega boss, I've given Mega Bossy. So if this unit charged this turn, for the rest of the turn I'd want to charge rolls for friendly Ironjaws units while they're wholly within 18 inches of this unit. So the Mega Boss is really there to get stuck in. Like, who is absolutely, like, the Mega Boss is really leading from the front here. And then his passive, his artifact, is the Trophy Skulls, which is add 10 to this unit's control score. And I think he should have... Yeah, he only has a control score of 2 anyway. So a control score of 10 hopefully, my thinking is that if he can at least get onto a mid-range objective or potentially into a backline, he's going to take that, like possibly even by himself. But I don't want him to stray too far from the brutes, because he buffs the brutes. So the battle formation I took was natural disaster. So if you make an unmodified charge roll of 8 or more for friendly non-hero Ironjaws, add 1 to the attack's characteristics of the unit's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. So on the long bomb charges, hopefully, we'll get some more attacks, which again will be grand. Like, really hoping for that one. But if not, as long as the Mega Boss is charging, everything else in the army is going to get a little bit of an extra boost to their charges. Once per turn, the battle traits, they get Mighty Destroyers. Pick a friendly Ironjaws unit that was not set up this turn to be the target. Target can move up to 3 inches, and it can move into combat. If it was in combat at the start of the move, it must end that move in combat. Again, that's really nice because Ironjaws don't have the best move, so I can shunt an Ironjaws. And then once per turn, army charge phase, pick a hero to be the target. For the rest of the turn, the following effects apply to friendly Ironjaws units while they are wholly within 18 inches of the target. Add 1 to charge rolls, add 1 to the attack's characteristics. So the Mega Boss is me big sort of aura buff dude while also being a meaty beat stick in his own right. And what was his? He has that's it, yeah. So his lead de brute's ability, his reaction ability is once he's had a fight, he can pick a brute unit to then have a fight, and if they do, +1 to attacks characteristics. So, like, yeah, the basic idea is they're going to all move forwards. They're all going to charge. Hopefully, I'll get the charges off, and they're all just going to get sometimes 1, 2, or even 3 more attacks than their base attacks, which is better than a poke in the eye. So little digs here. So basically, yes, indeed, yeah, a feast. So the basic idea of the Ironjaws army, like I said, is that I'm keeping it simple so that although there's I've got quite a few abilities and things to remember, which I'll have to make a cheat sheet for. They all kind of have the same end result of more charge or more fight, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, the Brute's passive is good as well. Enemy units with a health characteristic of 1 or 2 cannot contest objectives while they are in combat with this unit. So, although the Brutes only have a control score of 1, if I keep them near the Mega Boss, that's something that they can sort of fight off. Yeah, as lists go, I think it's a good solid list for 1,000 points. However, I have absolutely no defense against magic or range, other than just sheer saves. Our boys 3 save. Brute Rages have a 5-up save, but they've got 3 health, and they can run and charge, and they get strike first if they charge. So hopefully they'll be fun. Brutes have anti-infantry and a 3-up save. The Mega Boss has a 3-up save. So yeah, the Brute Rages are, because quite obviously shirtless, so they're probably going to die fairly quickly. As I said, it's just the movement that I'm going to have an issue with, because they have a 4-inch move across the board. So that's where the charge and the shunt is really where I'm hoping to shine. But that remains to be seen. We'll know on the day, and I will report back. Let's do. Chat so much the paint's dried on my brush, so I'll have to try that one again. And there we go. But yes, if nothing else, even if I get absolutely curb stomped on the day, I'm going to have a lovely time. Because it's just a couple of days away, and it's Nottingham, and it's Warhammer World, and I was feeling extra fancy, so I got the cool little upgrade pack, so I got some gubbins to come home with me. I'll probably end up spending more money than I should in the shop. Excuse me. Yes, it will. It will be a blast, Mikey, but it won't be the same, obviously, without you and our resident magic moron. Because I was going to suggest, while we were down there, to try like Immaterium, the escape room, but I was like, without the other 2 dudes of the 2 dudes of the 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse, it's just I'm not doing that. Not unless we get all 4 of us together, failing miserably at the escape room. Right, so how should I do some? You know what, I'm going to be saucy here, and I'm going to do diagonal checkerboard. See this? Oh, ho, 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 ho. And down the middle here. And then Oh, what, like the Iron Hands Heresy one? That's very cool. That Warsmith is. Muchos tasty. I'm not too sure because I haven't checked whether, but I actually, I honestly, yeah, also as well now that I'm thinking of it, I don't think we'll actually have enough time on the Wednesday itself because it's sort of an all day tournament kind of thing to get around the exhibition hall. But I definitely want to do the exhibition and have a look at everything there again because that's always fun. So I might do that on the. Yeah, I think we'll do that. See if I want to do that on the Tuesday. Go. It's quite all right. You don't need to interact. It's lovely that that someone is there's some people out there listening on the big screen where I belong. Oh, thank you. It's because I am an enormous human being. And it does need to be said that I have decided to do checkerboards and dags and all sorts of like weird and wonderful little bits and pieces. Um, when the tournament is in 6 weeks, and I still have basically a whole other half to do. But we do not apologise for art. As well, one thing I'm doing is I might just do some like irregular strips here and there. So I'll do one straight line and then thicken it out a bit and sort of call that a day. I think that works quite well. Actually, yeah. Yeah, the Iron Warriors Heresy one. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that is the war. The Warsmith. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll keep an eye out for it while I'm down there. If we do go on the Tuesday, because we get into Nottingham at like 3 o'clock. So I think it'll probably be straight to the hotel, check in, dump stuff off, and then tram to Warhammer World. Yeah, tram to Warhammer on the Tuesday, mooch around the place, get your Warsmith, or if they don't have it on the shelf, I can put an order in and then pick it up the next day, or do the morning order, pick up in the evening, think whatever. We'll get that Warsmith sorted for you, and then I can bring it back with me. Because I'm only taking like my army and a change of clothes. I'm packing light, so there'll be enough space to bring something back, to bring stuff back. I realise here that these are actually bone, so I should probably I'll block them out in white and then do these properly later. I'm going to just do it like that now. I at least can remember that they need to be done properly, as it were. But it'd be interesting to see actually what, like, I don't know what, because they do exclusive, like, Warhammer World exclusive models. I'm hoping that they do the event models, because I want to pick those up. But I don't know whether this will class as an event. I hope it does. But otherwise, I don't know what Warhammer World exclusive models they'll have. But I'll keep an eye out and see what's what. See if there's anything good or fun for the collection. So with these great big triple horn tits things here, I'm not going to really be able to get anything more than just a couple of little dags. Here, here we go, because I must go back and do more heresy, but I also have the Emperor's Children to do, so that's and I'm really far behind with the Emperor's Children. I have one unit of Noise Marines built, and I have the Lord Exultant painted, so that's still another. Well, let's call a spade here. That's, yeah, it's a lot of models. 20. Yeah, it's like 32 models. Yes, the the 2025 challenge. So as long as I get them all built and painted this year, I mean, I always have the goal of trying to get it done before the next one, because then I don't have a backlog. But then I realised I'm taking an army that I have to build and paint from scratch for a tournament. So I've in essence just added another box on. So I've got the Emperor's Children to do. They've just announced the Space Wolves, which I found a video online. I cannot remember the name of the creator. But he had a great video about how to paint Space Wolves with just like a makeup brush. And I gave it a go, and this is what I came up with. So this was literally, I don't know, I want to say like less than an hour's work. Maybe 40 minutes or so. Is that coming up all right? Yeah, there we go. So that's like, yeah, that was like less than an hour's work to get all this armor done with a makeup sponge. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the Space Wolves. That's going to be super easy, and then it's just details, and jobs are good, and I don't have to worry. As long as you don't plan on sleeping, you're all good. Yeah. Well, as the Dreadnoughts say, sleepers for the week. So yeah, we've got Space Wolves, and then there's a Soul Blight, and the Soul Blight is like shitload, but again, it's mainly like skeletons, and I have painted a lot of skeletons in the past, and especially with new Soul Blight skeletons, they're a different kind of easy now, because there's not actually a lot of bone on them with Soul Blight skeletons. Like the Death Rattle skeletons, not a lot of bone. They're actually mainly armoured, and that's a lot easier, because you can prime them in like either a reddy brown, or even just a red, like a blood red, and then dry brush your metallics up, and then just go back with like a thick bodied khaki or bone colour, pick out the bone, and then Yeah, and yeah, straight there, like Mikey's got it right. Streaking grime, oil wash, that kind of thing. There you go. They're pretty much done. So that's gonna be my plan anyway. So I think with the Soul Blight box, it is 20 Barrow Guard, 20 Barrow Knights, and what's it called? And a White King. Let's get a little steed. The new one. Was not expecting a new White King, but I'm not mad. Sponge, not a brush. Oh, nice one. So, the brush that the guy used in the video, and I'm still racking my brain trying to remember what his name is. So he used what was called. Sorry, I'm just over at the table because I'm just going to grab the brush that I use because I didn't use the same kind of brush sponge that he did. He used a makeup blender, which looked like an egg with a point on it. I used this wedge, and I just sort of I tore it in half, and then sponged around. And I think it's come out with a very nice. I think I probably could have taken more time to do a bit more highlights. Add a little bit of white to the mix and then highlight up a little bit more. Because I always forget how much oil washes can darken things down. But it's trial and error. The main concept is sound. And I know that's going to let me do... Because it's 10 blood hunters, 10 grey hunters, 3 of their blade guard, 3 cavalry, a rune priest, and some kind of captain or lieutenant. So that's 20, 26, 27. It's 28 models in that box set. So that's gonna save a lot of time. Oh, hello, Steves. Yes, they are considerably more blue. I managed to carve out a little time to myself to actually get all the armour done and all washed and then dry brush back up again. Yeah, I noticed. So I think the blender looked like it was easier to, with the point on it, it was easier to get in all the nooks and crannies. But you use what you've got, and at the time I just wanted to do the test, so I'm probably going to pick up some makeup blenders as well because they're 10 a penny. So pick up some of those, try both, and I'll be like, does it work better with this specific type of sponge, or can I just sort of keep using the sponges that I've got? But we shall see. We live, we laugh, we love, we learn. And he's done. But yes, so my Warhammer projects are pretty much sort of laid out for me from now until the end of the year. Yeah, Poundland. Yeah, I've got a Poundland at the bottom of my road, so I'll go there. I've also got a B&M, so I'll probably wander along tomorrow. Get a bunch of different sponges and test. Been looking at the old world. Right, I really like the idea of the old world, so I will talk about the old world, sir. I will absolutely talk about the old world. Now, Steve, you were here last week, so you will. Last week? Was it last week or last time? Whatever, I can't remember. Time is meaningless. Live for the now. So, I was talking about Adepticon last week and about what the reveals were going to be. And I can't remember any of my predictions but I do remember saying I am terrifically wrong. And excellent. What's Poundland? It's a store in the UK where all the items are a quid or less. Like they're one British pound, and it's called Poundland, which is like when you're in the UK, you don't think about it, but as soon as somebody from like outside the UK asks, it is instantly a hilarious name for a shop, like Poundland. But you can get all sorts of stuff from Poundland. It's all just like mixed goods. You get from Poundland, but like everything there is like a quid, so it's dirt cheap. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so Adepticon's reveals. I didn't make any predictions because I'm always hilariously wrong with this. Now, I'd genuinely thought that Games Workshop had quietly shit-canned Cathay, because when they were doing their whole developer diaries for the old world, they made a big song and dance. They made a big song and dance about Cathay and Kislev, because they were the launch faction. They were the two like big cool factions for Warhammer Total War 3 at the time. And they were saying how like, oh, Creative Assembly, the guys who are doing Total Warhammer 3 are like, they're getting their design cues from us in the design studio, and here's some cool Kislev stuff, and here's like cool Cathay stuff, and I was like, that's awesome. And then years went by, Old World came out, and I was expecting it to be Kislev versus Cathay as a box set, but then they did this whole the two army boxes, the Tomb Kings and the Bretonnians, which are cool, very very cool boxes, not what I was expecting. And then there was just nothing. They said, oh well, here's a bunch of the factions, because you could buy the army books, like either the good guys book or the bad guys book. Cathay and Kislev did not feature in either. So I genuinely thought that, like, right, okay, I feel like they've kind of had a bit of a half launch with this. There's not like, it's not really a new game. It's more of a sort of like a revival, because they still have they've retooled the molds, and what have you. So yeah, and it's like, it's kind of cool, because like the nostalgic in me is like, I never really got into Old World properly to do anything with the Old World, and now as much as I love Age of Sigmar, the Old World does sort of like hold a little bit of like a mystique to me. It's something I could have fun with. But now that they've said Cathay is like brilliant, that means hopefully Kislev is on the horizon. It means hopefully new factions could be on the horizon, because Cathay absolutely brand new to the Old World, which means we might actually see Vampire Coasts, which would be amazing. I would love to see Vampire Coasts. But the Cathay stuff looks absolutely phenomenal. I think and Old World is a very strange one, because I look at all of those armies and I'm like, oh, I can do pretty much any one of those, and I'd probably be quite happy, like with like a rank and flank little thing like that. But again, it's just I don't have the time or the space, and I just don't have the mental capacity to learn another game yet. But yeah, no, I think it's really made me I say happy, relieved. Don't know quite the words for it and things. I'm kind of just sort of like, oh, that's I think reassured. Reassured is the word, because Old World was starting to kind of feel like something that they had this huge, big hype for, and these big box sets, big release, and like, the Old World is back, And then it was kind of like, but only certain factions, and it's all kind of getting drip fed out, and like, um, and I didn't want it to become a game system that was kind of left in the fans' hands. So now to see that they're actually producing entirely new factions, you know, it shows that they've invested longevity into the project. And obviously, like GW as a company, they're not known for making like rash decisions. But sometimes they can quietly leave, like they sort of like quietly forget things and leave things to the wayside for a while, which is always a bit of a shame. But either way, but that's all an unfounded thought process, because they are doing Cathay, which is a good, reassuring thing to see. Which, long may it continue. Right, sorry, I'm just going to catch up on the chat here. Things. Yeah, it's like Dollar Tree if you are in the US, or if you've got anything like that. It's sort of like Poundland is like a discount price shop. Usually has like fairly cheap stuff, decent enough quality. You know, you get what you pay for. I thought they were going to save it for another edition. I hope that too. Yeah. I mean, the Dark Elves are in a weird place. You know, obviously we were talking last week. Haven't got the Umbraneth yet in Age of Sigmar, but we don't have the Dark Elves in Old World. Very strange. Fingers crossed. Blue Orcs trying to rig up the types of things. Well, never hurts. I don't need luck. I've never had it, but it never hurts to try and invite it. So you know, we'll see. We'll try. We'll try and see if painting them blue does, like, if this army does in fact go. You know, if this army does you know, gets one win, I'd consider that the blue has worked. I've heard about Daiso, and like it. I've seen some of the stuff that comes from Daiso, and it looks amazing. It's like it's very weird and cool stuff, and I want it. But I'm a big fan of Tat, so you know. But yeah, the Space Wolf thing, very cool. The Space Wolf release from Adepticon. We'll talk about Adepticon. The releases, very cool. Very cool, very enjoyable. New kill team set, looks very cool. Finally a Tyranid kill team. That's awesome. A very interesting looking Adeptus Mechanicus kill team with mainly servitors. Very thematic, I like it. What else was there? So yeah, we had Cathay for the Old World. There was some other Old World stuff, wasn't there? Was there some, like, was it Wood Elf stuff? I can't remember now, but it was very cool. Space Wolf for 40k. A new character model for the World Eaters, which was sorely needed. Something to accompany the 8-bound, the Exalted 8-bound. Very cool. I fucking love those Thousand Sun robots. They're awesome. I know the general sort of online consensus has been a bit like, I don't like it. And I'm like, why? Do you have detached retinas? Are you incapable of feeling art? Look, they've been saying year of chaos, like I don't remember seeing anywhere that GW specifically said year of chaos. And I'm sorry, but they got an entirely new faction. Like you have got your Emperor's Children, like that now, regardless of whether it's a lot or a little, in terms of like actual number of units and things, mileage may vary, and I understand that. And I can understand there is a certain amount of like irritation at feeling like you've only got half of your army. And then, but yeah, there we go. Straight there. You got it in one picture. The Grey Knights have a slightly altered baby carrier. Their rank and file is awful. It desperately needs an update. And I'm not saying it needs Primaris, it just needs an update. And you've proven that you can do it with the Terminators, with the vanilla Terminators. So, yeah, like, but at the end of the day, again, someone's always going to be like vocally loud online about their annoyance about any announcement or reveal for some reason, and it does seem to be like a uniquely like complaining online is not a uniquely like Warhammer thing, but when we'd watch during lockdown we'd watch the online reveals like live. I sometimes would have the Twitch chat open, and sweet God in heaven, the deranged entitlement. The deranged entitlement of people in the Twitch chat. So the big thing was during lockdown was Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. Well, I think we were sort of kind of a bit out of lockdown, but in lockdown, whatever it was. But either way, 3rd edition, we watched the online thing, and it was an Age of Sigmar reveal day. And it was showing all of this Age of Sigmar stuff for Age of Sigmar. And there was so much of the chat going on about how, like, well, where's the Eldar release? Where's the Eldar range refresh? What about this? What about that? When are you going to fix this? When is X Army going to get that? And it was all 40k stuff. And, like, don't get me wrong, 40k is great, and it does, for the most part, have a wonderful player base. But some of y'all need to shut up and calm down. It will happen. Like, GW aren't daft, and they're not deaf. They can see this stuff, and they do understand that it needs to be done. But it's just going to take a while to get there. They have like 30 odd different armies, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of boxes of units. It will all get there eventually. Theory, Black Templars, we'll get the Assault Terminator release. Grey Knights, we're going to upgrade through for it. That's a good theory. I like that. Because, yeah, Assault Terminators have been pretty absent, like, in terms of an upgrade. And I would like to see them. See what they do with that. Baby carrier. Right, so one of the armies, the Grey Knights, has, like, what's it called? Like the Nemesis armor or something like that? Yeah, Nemesis Dreadnought. So, and what the Nemesis Dreadnought, and what the Nemesis Dreadnought is, it's like, if you've seen Aliens 2... it kind of looks like the robot loader from Aliens that Sigourney Weaver does, but it also does kind of look like a baby carrier because it just looks like a grown ass man, sort of like strapped into like a harness with like just a bigger robot person. So it has been affectionately referred to as the baby carrier. loose, very small. But yeah, I will say, of the Adepticon reveals, I was a little. Actually, I wasn't even disappointed because I was very happy to see it, because obviously Age of Sigmar is my jam. So when I checked through the reveals, and the only like major Age of Sigmar reveal was they've announced 4 new Spearhead boxes, which is brilliant, and a new like season of Spearhead, Bone and Sand and Bone, or something. Can't remember what it's called now. Either way, more the Spearhead rulebook, the season 2 of Spearhead, and that's gonna be sick. Because I love Spearhead, and those Spearhead boxes are very good. Like, each one of them is like just a really good box set. Those new Spearheads, I really like them. I think they're the good shit right there. Oh, come on, man. Like, the vote, and you'll get a character on a trike. That's what you're going to get, and you'll like it. And it won't even be a good trike, it'll be a crap one. It'll be those hover trikes. Yes, that is somebody who really likes Bone Reapers. That's a good box, because it's like 2 Archai and 2 Archai, 3 Guard, and 3 Choppy Boys, which could also be built as Guard, but you just do your 3 and 3, and a Soul Mason, all very good. Right, so people keep their models in various different ways. I am unfortunately not in a position to display my models. Some people display theirs in like shelving and things like that. I tend to keep mine in like plastic containers. Some of them are loose because I know they'll be safe there and whatever. They're not getting transported around. They just sort of sit in a shelf, and I'll bring them out for either play or to redo them or something like that. But I do have transport cases, which are I've got one underneath me right here, which will I be able to fit this on camera? I'm not too sure. Oh, hang on. Let's find out. Up we go. How does that look? Okay, it's pretty far out. But I won't show you the whole thing. But I have a transport carrier, which is sort of just like it's a case, but it has a bunch of trays, magnetic trays in, and that's what I keep my my arm on. So here are my Night Lords. Yes, this picture says the power of magnets. So I can just as you can see, I am holding them. I can even hold them upside down, and they work. Yeah. So this is my. So I have 2 cases. I've got one that fits as a backpack, and that fits like 8 shelves in. And then I have a smaller carry case that has like 4 shelves in. Well, the number of shelves is very dependent on like how big the models are. Oh no, you need to go down another one. So yeah, the trays just sort of slide in and out. And I know people have like make homemade versions, but sometimes I'll just pay for convenience. So that's all worked out very well with those two. So I'll probably take that small carry case down with me for May. And then we'll just move the camera back. Yeah, I'm like I'm both incredibly pale and incredibly bald, so it's basically like King Neptune for me. Right, I'll continue doing all the eggs while I ramble inanely. Yeah, I think Spearhead's definitely brilliant. I'm hoping that no, Jules and Beanie have your army. I have my own Eldar army. It is not made up of Eldar, it's made up of proxies. Hey, Doug, nice to see you, man. So, I've completely lost my train of thought there. It's all gone. Never mind, it couldn't have been that important. It'll come to me later. Oh, no, it's coming back. Hang on. Wait. 2 seconds. Yes. So, I love Spearhead. I think as a rule set and as a concept, brilliant. Not a massive fan of having to buy the gubbins, but you pays your money, you takes a choice. It's it's how it is, it's how it be. I'm hoping that 40k do something similar, because I've looked at Combat Patrol, but it doesn't have quite the same feel as Spearhead, and I don't know. Like on paper, they're very similar, so I'm not too sure why I'm not getting the same vibe. I mean, also the price point is there's only 50. I know there's only £15 between it. We're talking about like GW retail prices. You can get them cheaper from third-party stores, but like a Combat Patrol 40k is £100, and that's a hefty chunk. And then you've got the Spearheads, which are £85. Again, a hefty chunk, but don't ask me why. There's probably some economics or business thing behind it. 85 feels like, I mean, because it empirically is less, but it feels like a better price point. Like I said when they first started doing the Combat Patrols, that really, this is when the Combat Patrols were the price they were when they were originally like 85. And I said, the smart money would be if you did a deal. If you went to GW, you gave them a crisp £100 and they would hand you a Combat Patrol and your latest codex for the army. And I think that'd be great. I think £100 just to, like £100 to like basically get your start in a faction champion. But how rules are delivered now and how codexes work and like online points totals and FAQs and apps and stuff like that have changed the land somewhat. So I'm not too sure if that's the same I'm not too sure if that's the same kind of good deal that it used to be. Wait to see it in battle again. Oh no, that's fine. Like I sent, I painted an Imperial Knight for Jules ages ago. Sent it down to him, and I've yet to see that get used. It was an Emperor's Children disco inspired. disco inspired mirror ball, big speakers, big custom speakers I've put on the back of it. Chaos Night. But I've yet to see that make an appearance. And I think I sent him the majority of my Sons of Anarchy as well, because I knew he'd get more use out of the Orc Army than I would. But there's a lot of armies, and there's only so much time. Does he need any more dags? Perhaps. I think he does need some checkerboards down his back. That's what he needs. Yeah. Am I painting on camera? No, I'm not. Just move this forward. There we go. That's a bit better. Hopefully. Yes. I think yes. I did see that you followed me, nerdy goth. So I got to the point where I should put my paint. Look, right. So there's this whole thing when it comes to painting and I guess other stuff. That people are embarrassed by their work and go, it's not as good as like whoever, because you look at other people's stuff and you go, and you look at other people's work and then you look down at your own hands and you kind of scream because you go, how does all this do, like how does one do this? However, the only way, like I don't think anyone is naturally talented at painting. I think people take to the process quicker than others, but I don't think anyone's naturally talented at painting. It's it's a skill that you work, and the first step to being good at something is being kind of shit at it. And it is absolutely fine to be shit, because there are still like days that I am. There are still days that I paint today, where I look at it and I go, "That shit. That's not my best work." But like, not everything's going to be my best work. I'm not always going to like. You get better, but you don't always improve. So you just kind of like, you keep going. You go, but I understand as well. Like, in a very like in a society and in a culture where we kind of only put up the good and we don't put up the bad. But if we do put up the bad, it's always got like a bit of a song and dance to it. Like, not quite an excuse, but there's always like a bit of performance to it when we put up the bad. That like, I think it's all right just to post your shit. Like, I spend a lot of time looking on Instagram for like for people that maybe don't have a lot of followers, or have like they paint their models, they post them like that. That's it. Like, the lighting could be crap. It's not like the most professional of paint jobs. It's whatever. And I love that shit, because you're like, yeah, that's a person out there who's painting, and I was like, I fucking love that guy, because it's very easy to like to not. It's so easy to not, and to like just consume. And I'm not gonna like, and it's a very nuanced thing, because like, I get it, like, I'm a big fan of it as well, of like just watching shit TV, or watching like just like YouTube video essays or something like that, and like just like taking it, like, you know, just consuming media, consuming whatever, and like not producing anything. But I think it is important, whether that's like doing something in like a building video game or a simulation video game, or it's painting, or it's crafting, or it's like putting pen to paper, or it's whatever it is, like cross stitch, diamond art, origami, you name it, like whatever. Like just, you know, doing whatever. And I think it's important to do that stuff. But again, it's important to do it not because like you need to put it out there into the world. You don't have to, just put it out to your friends. But I think it's important to do stuff, and I think it is very important to do stuff badly. Like, it's like super important to do stuff badly, I find. Sometimes you have a bad day. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there are times where I've done that. Like I have like so many projects where like I have them sat there, and I'm like, I hate this. I absolutely like. I loathe this. I'm trying to see if I've got one that I'm like, I just absolutely despise. No, it's not. There was some, I think it was some old Poxwalkers or something I did a while ago. I may have since got rid of them, but I painted them, and you know what? Despised them, hated them, absolutely hated them. Try things out of my comfort zone and learn new things. Never go back, but I also have a group of people who encourage and push me. Is there no Discord link? Oh my lord. Right. Here we go. Because we did have a command, but I don't know what happened to it. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, like people. Right, so why aren't you working? Hang on, 2 seconds here. I do apologise, I haven't actually got a whole lot of painting going on right now. Right, that should get you into the Discord. And I'll look about changing that, about putting a Discord link in the thing. But Doug's just a super good painter. So, but he is always doing something new, and it's always very impressive to see him work and to see what he's working on. Dude's a fucking kick-ass man. So we go. We'll catch up with the chat quickly. One thing I've learned: starting off painting tau, white and yellow is what my sense of ability. I changed to painting crew. Picture, mate. I'm the same. I absolutely wreck brushes. Like I am a cruel and unforgiving master with brushes. I absolutely, like, I wreck them to pieces. With the exception of my wash brush, which I've had for over 13 years, I wreck every brush I have within like 6 months. I go through brushes alongside projects, and it's to the point now where I like mentally prepare. Like if I have a project and I know how much it's going to cost, like if it's a box set or whatever, I will immediately add on like 15 quid for brushes because I know I'm going to be spending that on brushes. Okay, I think we'll call that. He's probably got enough. Okay, maybe another little deck. Quick deck there, just to show that he's decked up. Yeah, no, I get it. I go through brushes a lot, so I've started doing what I've started doing on certain projects as well. Is like if it's a quick thing, it's like I just have crap synthetic brushes that I use for it, and I'm like, right, that's crap time. So I think we're gonna start doing the dags here because I got a message just before that my partner is leaving work a little early, so she'll be back soon. Oh, what? Really? Oh, I missed the because I was streaming. Is it the? Oh, is it? Soulblight box set and pre-order next week. Oh, for God's sakes! Right? Okay, I've got 3 weeks to finish the. Yeah, 3 weeks to finish the Emperor's Children. 3 weeks. That's like 10 models a week. I can do that. Oh, excuse me. I can. Yeah, I can do that. Oh my lord. But yes, as I was saying, my partner is finishing work early, so she's on her way home. So I probably wrap the stream a little bit earlier than usual. I always aim to stream for about 2 hours. But I think I'll do things a bit shorter again today. And then I make tea tonight, and I'm making Greek chicken flatbreads. I've absolutely messed that up, so I'm just going to do it as a block line. Happy accidents, as they say. See, that's nice, and then we'll just block out the other side like that, so it's like a double stripe. Yeah, off-white and pale yellow on black. Well, yeah, like that's going to be an uphill struggle. Like, just in terms of like, yellow pigment is just a bastard. Hey, we all have our goals, man. Like, we all have that sort of thing in our head of like an army scheme being like, yeah, that's what I'm going for, and you're like, damn, this paint got hands. Is your course correct, or you just you keep at it, you keep trying. kind of hoping, because this is the first time I've ever done sort of like this like freehand checkerboardy stuff, so I'm hoping that like over time that I'm going to get faster and faster at it. God. Well, I'm probably going to have to, if the Soul Blights are up for pre-order, I'm going to have to go down to my local game shop and tell them I would like one, so please tell me when the pre-orders are up and I will give you money. Yeah, how easy money. Yeah, I think it's like honestly, I don't think the Emperor's Children are actually going to be all that bad. Like now that I've worked out what I'm doing with the metallics, and the white armor itself is actually quite easy. That I'm doing from. Showing you, I've got them here. So these are one of them that I'm sort of in the midst of doing at the moment. So you can kind of, I don't know whether you can kind of see on camera that I've got the rainbow panel lining down, and that doesn't actually take all that long. It is just sort of figuring out how thick, like how long each part of the rainbow needs to be, and then after that it's all just, I'm just using alcohol markers. Not alcohol markers, alcohol metallics. With like one or two like different colours, so like purple for the cloth, a brown contrast for belts and pouches, and then like jobs are good. So I think I should be able to, famous last words, get through them. Do help me slow this listen stuff. How dare you, picture? How dare you force me into my find out era? And Christmas Eve with $10. Thank you very much. Here's to help with those, Soul Blight bud. Oh, that is very kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'll get those Soul Blight done, and I may show you the rest of my Soul Blight. I have a lot of Soul. I have a lot of Soul Blight. I have a lot of death, like Age of Sigmar death stuff, and this probably be the good time to get Nagash finished as well. But you know, one thing at a time. We'll see how it all goes first, because like I said, I think there's like 30 odd. Again, another 30 models in the Soul Blight box, and it's going to be an interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to the book, because obviously we've got Prince Vordry and things as well. I think it's just going to be a good time. Some little tags here quickly. Because I kind of want to see what Neferata and Manfred and the rest of them are up to. Like now that Usheran's back and maybe not as crazy as people thought he was, and the whole Skaven Blight nonsense, because the Gash and the Skaven have not gotten along well, famously. So it'll be cool to see. I want to see if they've lost Terrorgeists. I hope they haven't. be very sad if they lose Terrorgeists. Because it means that potentially the Flesh Eaters would lose Terrorgeists. But I'm going to assume that the new Zombie Dragon kit will be will do both. But we'll see. We'll see. One step at a time. Okay. Oh, this has gone really wrong. Right, I'm going to have to really fix this one. There we go. Better. Well, not great, but... God, an absolute pig's ear of that dag, but never mind. Yeah, exactly, Steve's like, she's been completely outsmarted and kind of like muscled out of the King's Blood racket, as it were. So we'll see. We'll see how things are going. Very interesting. We'll do some more dags, but I think, unfortunately, we will have to call it there. You're now signed up to the Discord. Wonderful. The link worked. Welcome to the Discord. Have a lovely time of it. But thank you again for everybody that is tuned in. I will be back, if not beforehand. I will be back on a Sunday, hopefully. You can follow me on Blue Sky, on Instagram. I have Twitter, but I don't use it anymore, obvious reasons. Crafting Kaiju on the Instagram and the Blue Sky. I'm trying to use Blue Sky a bit more. So if you have Blue Sky, add me on Blue Sky, and then like annoy me and tag me on Blue Sky to sort of get me to do stuff and say things and post stuff. But in the meantime, keep your brushes sharp, your palettes wet, take care of each other, and have a lovely rest of your Sunday. And I hope you absolutely kick the dick off of your week. So take care of everybody, and goodbye, 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 goodbye. I've lost the ending thing. Goodbye.